This is what the browser is going to see. It just sees it like this. Okay? And if I save this and then go back to the browser and reload, it doesn't change anything. Nothing got altered. Alright, so this white space inside the source code is viewable, or we put it in there just to make it more readable to humans, or us, right? That's the only reason why it's in there, so that we know where these areas are, where they start and where they stop, and which and this nesting, right? We want to see this nesting, and we want to understand these relationships a little bit better. Okay, so now having said that, notice that the title is the element content of the head tag. Okay, so if we look at this tag, the title tag, right, we got the start or opening tag, we have the end or closing tag, and this here is called the element content, and this entire thing is called the element. Alright, now also notice that the head is an element. Okay, here is its start tag, its end tag, and the head's element content is all this. Alright, so if I put that in line, that may be easier for you to grasp. Something like that, right? We got the start, the end, and the element content. Alright, see how we're nesting these tags here? And that is what you do when you create HTML documents, is that you're constantly going to be nesting this, which is why we use the indentation, so we know what is nested inside, what tags are nested inside of other tags. Now, another important piece to understand about white space, if you remember, I said the browser views this all as if it was on one line. Alright, so if we broke this paragraph up, right, on the p tags up on separate lines, and we were to come in here and just, now we got a line break, right? This is line number 2, and then we put some more spaces in here like this, and this is 1, so that's 2, 3, 4, 5. This is line number 5. There should be 2 empty lines above this. Alright, so if I save that and now load that inside the browser, there's our browser, we reload. Notice none of that white space is interpreted as we had expected in our code, right? Because, like I said, the browser ignores the white space. So if we wanted this to wrap down to the next line, we would have to, let's do this. Alright, so I got rid of that P. I'm going to put in another one. This is 1. And I'm going to start duplicating this. Boom, 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 boom. And then we could say this is 2, 3, 4, 5. Now if we save that, go back to the browser and reload, now we have them all on individual lines. So notice when you have a paragraph tag, the browser by default is going to put some spacing in between them. Alright, so we got, let's see, make sure we covered everything. Oh, alright, let's go back and take a look at, I want to go back and I'm going to delete these now. This is our first web page. Alright, just like that. And we'll go back here and reload this. So there you go. Alright, now what I want to talk about is that DOM, or the document object model. Now this is a very important concept that you need to understand, because this is going to help you when we get into CSS and JavaScript also. Alright, so this document object model, right, like we said before, the HTML element contains only two elements, the head and the body. Alright, and inside the head contains one element, the title, and inside the body contains only one element, the P. So if we were to represent the document object model, it's going to be displayed as a hierarchy chart. Okay, let me get my pen here. So I gotta select the right tool. There we go. So the first tag that we had in our document was HTML, and inside HTML we had two tags. We had the head. Well, that is just terrible. Let's try that again. Let's start over here. Sometimes I write too fast and it just can't keep up. So HTML, and inside there we had two tags, the head and the body, right? There we go. Well, that was supposed to be a D. There we go. Alright, body. And inside head we had our title tag. There you go. And inside body we had a P tag, like so. Alright, so imagine this like a family tree kind of ordeal, right? The heading and body would be considered siblings. The heading is a child of the HTML tag, and the body is also a child of the HTML tag, right? So that makes these two siblings. Now, the title is a child of head, and the title is also a descendant of HTML. And P tag was a child of body, and the P tag is also a descendant of HTML. Alright, now if we work back the other way, head is a parent of, or is the parent of title, and body is the parent of the P tag, while HTML is an ascendant of title, and it is a ascendant of the P tag. Alright, so this is the document object model, or the DOM, you'll see it referred to as. And it's important that you understand that this is how the document object model is structured, specifically later on when we get into CSS and JavaScript. So if we were to, now remember before, I'm just going to show you one more quickly here just to reinforce this a little bit. We had those 5 paragraphs, right? So if we would have done something like that document, when we had those 5 paragraphs, would look like this. Right? We had a bunch of P tags underneath the body tag. And now these would all be siblings, while the body is the parent of all these P tags, okay? And these P tags are the child, all these P tags would be the child of the body. And then as we go on further nesting, the tree starts growing and we get more branches and nodes later on. Alright, so that's the document object model. Now I want to show you, here's our document, okay? So we're gonna do this a lot, meaning that the next HTML file that we create, we're always gonna have the same structure, right? So we may not necessarily have a P in there, however, this is always going to be, it's going to look like this all the time, right? Every time we start an HTML document, this is what the file is going to be started off as. So Komodo Edit has these things called templates. All right, so if we create a new template, we can go File, New, File from Template, and underneath Web here, you can see you can create. They already have preloaded all these these templates for you, but the one that we're interested in is HTML5. So you double click on that, and let me zoom in. You can see right away this automatically gets filled in for you, so you don't have to worry about that. Now we're going to go ahead and edit this template a little bit later on, because there are some other tags that you're going to want already loaded for you, right? But this is what a template does for you. All right, it automatically is going to start defining the structure of this document for you. All right, the next part is called a snippet, and what's nice about snippets, this is our title. Okay, a lot of times when you develop web pages, you don't have content that you want displayed on the screen. So in web development, we want to put just some dummy text in there. All right, and what we use for that is called lorem ipsum. Alright, and what we do here, if we go back to our browser, I got this page up already for you, lorem ipsum. So you go to lipsum.com. Alright, and this will give you history about it, but the most important piece that you need here is this information. This is what you want to use for your default text. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy that and then go back to our HTML file, and I paste that in here. Right, so now I got this long paragraph in there, and I have some dummy text. And if I save this, go back to the browser and reload this page, there we go. Now we have our long paragraph in there. Okay, well, you do this a lot. You put a lot of paragraphs in here all the time, and if you don't have that lorem ipsum text in there in your on your clipboard just to paste it, you have to go to that website, copy it, paste it, and then move forward, right? All right. However, there's a thing called a snippet, which is a feature of any good code editor. So we're going to end the P. And Komodo Edit has snippets also. So I'm going to click on my right pane here, and you can see we have these things over here. All right. In the abbreviations, all right, general, what I've done is I created a snippet called lorem. All right. So if I start typing lorem here and then Control T, it automatically is going to fill that out for me. All right, and that's something you do so often that I don't want to go to that website all the time and copy that text or have that text in some other file externally somewhere and keep copying and pasting. I just want to type lorem, Control T, and it automatically fills that in. All right, so how do you create one of these? You go to say general. I like it under general because you're going to use this among in various languages. Alright, so I'm going to give it a name, and I already have one called lorem, so I'm going to call lorem 2, and then inside here I'm going to paste that from my clipboard what I copied from the other site, and I say OK, and now I have lorem 2. So if I open up my tag, my P tag, close it, and if I go lorem 2, Control T, it automatically places that in for you. So that's going to save you a lot of time also. Alright, well, I think that has finally done it, and we covered all the tags that we were going to talk about or intended to talk about, just to make sure. There they are, and let me bring this on. And we talked about DocType, Wi-Fi, snippets, templates, and lipsum.com. Alright, so there you go. Next time we will start looking at various other tags in a logical manner. Until then, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.